Good morning, and thanks so much for tuning into the Trade Setup with me, Neeraj Shah. It promises to be a quiet day of trade because the handover from the US markets or the way the global markets are functioning, Asian markets are doing right now as well, you probably have a quiet kind of a morning in store for sure. Much like yesterday, by the way, it started off very quiet. So what happened in terms of global news flow? The S&P 500 saw the first losing day in 9 sessions. US Treasury yields have dropped as a risk of weak economy returns, and the US crude oil is holding at roughly $74 per barrel as well. Even that one is lower. You saw the Asian screen looking the way it is. Amongst other news, the WHO director has said that Mpox is not the new COVID and the disease can be stopped. Well, one certainly hopes that the loss of lives from this is way lower than what we've seen in the previous instance of 2020. Cross fingers for all of that and more. Well, mirroring the Asian screen, the implied open seems to suggest the start, which is about 25 points in the red. Is this a big slam dunk likely to happen? Maybe not, but certainly a bit of a pullback on open for sure. So yesterday we saw a broad-based rally, but I think today's market will be in line with the global cues. The good part is that the FI long-short ratio has improved slightly to about 52.42. So the index long futures trade continues out there. But because it's a quiet day, you may not see too much of action on the index, and therefore it will be very stock specific and sector specific. So we've seen the OMC tailwind continue. Now, ONGC is, of course, not the right stock here. BPCL, HPCL, IOC, that's the set of stocks you want to keep an eye out for. But that tailwind may continue and therefore remains a pocket to watch. Not oil upstream. In fact, oil upstream may actually be a sector that might correct a little bit, right? Because oil prices are lower and therefore ONGC, Oil India, etc. have that issue. But BPCL, HPCL, IOC, that's the bucket that you keenly want to watch out for from a stock-specific perspective on the oil and gas side. And yesterday, a conversation with some local dealers who are into clothes stores, supply of cloth, etc. And I was talking to them about how the wedding season has been a bit lower, slower, and lesser number of days. And they said, "Oh, that was a thing of the past." From here on, from the time that the good days start for the weddings, the wedding season extends itself till May. And therefore, they are looking at a very good next 9 to 10 months of work. And therefore, that may reflect upon some of the, cloth manufacturers or the kinds of Manyavar, the likes of Titans, etc. So watch out for that bucket of stocks. Could be a very interesting one to monitor. What about stocks to watch today? Genus Power Infrastructure has received 3 orders worth 3,600 crores for appointment of advanced metering infrastructure service providers. You want to watch out for that one. Cyient DLM could be in focus. We are marking Cyient here. That is up 6% because that will get the money. So approved sale of 14.5% stake in ARM Cyient DLM via block deal. If you can get the stock price of Cyient DLM here, because the floor price is 748, which is a 5% discount to yesterday's close, and that is of Cyient DLM. So 748 Cyient DLM would be circa about 788 or thereabouts, right? 788, and therefore the floor price of 748 is a 5% discount to this price. You'll probably see this one correcting today simply because the block deal size is very large. PNB Housing Finance, General Atlantic is going to sell about 5.1% equity via block deal. Floor price at 775 rupees per share, which is about a 4.4% discount. So you'll probably see some bit of a pullback here too. Sansera Engineering could be interesting as approved raising funds of up to 1,200 crores via QIP and other means. This one, remember Steady Mover, when they did the first interaction with media and they'd spoken to us, they were talking about some very constructive growth prospects ahead. Let's wait and watch if Sansera has some upticks after this QIP is done. TRAI data is coming and positive for Reliance and Airtel. BSNL and Vodafone, not so much. Very strong leads from Reliance Jio. For Airtel too, not too bad. I was reading a couple of notes and they said that while this continues for a few more months, at some point of time, Voda, because of the fundraise, will stop bleeding customers. But for now, the two will continue to gain. I don't think this has had too much of an impact in the recent past to stock price movements, but you never know. Watch out for these in the session today. There is Varun Beverages. There's a chatter of Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages IPO soon, and maybe that's one reason why Varun Beverages is a bit tepid in the last few days, because this one is a wholly owned sub-bottling unit of Coca-Cola. The scarcity premium that Varun has goes away. Keep an eye out for that one. You will also watch out for life insurance companies. HSBC has come out with a note on life insurance. So yesterday the stocks were very, very active. Watch out for HDFC Life and iPru is what HSBC says. They say insurers becoming more focused on growth rather than margins through linked sales. They see healthy growth, which should support valuations if the VNB margin compression is limited. They believe they are very constructive on HDFC Life because they believe it's got multiple drivers to improve growth, 16.7% upside. They say if iPru keeps on surprising on AP growth, could re-rate further, 13.2% upside there. Okay, we don't have the upsides here, never mind, 13.2% upside. And SBI Life remains a steady compounder, about 10.7% upside. So watch out for each of these in the session today. Thanks so much for tuning into the Trade Setup. Have a great day ahead.